Okay, Tulab, for these type of questions, using your graphing space calculator, right? It's asking you to draw the graph of a sine function and x cubed. Okay, so you just go to your calculator and you just plug in the number at y equals. So in this one, I'm going to use Desmos. So y equals 2 sine, you know, x minus 2. Sorry, there you go. So what we can notice first thing from this graph, students, you just pay attention to this point. First of all, this is your function. So 2 sine x. So the number 2 here, what it does is it takes your graph 2 up to number 2 and go down to number minus 2. So the vertical distance, this distance, okay, from the x-axis, it goes up to 2 and goes down to minus 2. That's the first thing I want to highlight here. Okay, we're going to talk about the trigonometric functions in detail later on in grade 12 in the second semester. Okay, and it has like a lot of marks in your IB exam. Now, for the other parameter of the function, which is minus 3, what the minus 3 does is it takes, there's a vertical, horizontal shift, okay, of about 3 units, okay, in radians, okay, not in degrees. So we'll talk about this later on. That's why in your and in this chapter they're asking you to draw it using the calculator, but later on in chapter 12 we're going to be able to draw these type of functions without a calculator. Okay, so make sure first of all your calculator is in radians, not in degrees, as you can see here. So it is in radians, not in degrees. You won't see the correct graph, so you gotta make sure it's correct. It's clicked radians, and in your calculator it is in radians, and then you do the graph. So the point here up to the point here. So there's a vertical shift of 3 units. Okay, so or a vertical shift of 3 units. Okay, so take a look at the first one. Let's go to mark scheme. Take a look at the mark scheme. I mean, again, that's the graph of a horizontal shift of 3 units. Okay, let me see how I entered it on Desmos. Oh, sorry, that's the problem. It should be minus 3. That's yes, now it's correct. I was wondering what was wrong. No, you can see it's up to 3 here. So it's a vertical horizontal shift of 3 units. Take a look, see? Up to 3. Now for the second graph, which is the x cube. Now, also the x cube, you gotta memorize the graph of x cube. The x cube goes like this. Okay, so when you have only x cube, it goes like this, and it goes like this. So you can see that the left part of the y-axis is kind of concave down. It's like this, it's concave down. It's like this. But the other part of on the right of the y-axis is kind of going up like this, concave up, as if it's going upwards like this. So make sure that you have these two things clearly noted in your graph when you draw the x cubed. Okay, take a look at the graph on your mark scheme. Take a look. Yes, as we mentioned. Okay, oops, going back. So yeah, see this part of the graph, how it is concaved up like this, it's not going like this. And on this part, how it's like this. Make sure that these two part of the graphs are clear on your when you answer this question, or when you graph this question. Okay, that's it for this question. So they're asking you to do graphing calculator, and again for part A we're gonna take it in details in grade 12, but x cubed, yes, you're responsible to know how to graph this without the calculator. Okay, thank you for watching.